Hello everyone, and welcome to the tutorial for the only software I will ever develop in my life. For the purpose of my mods and just experiencing Kingdom Hearts 2 in general on emulator, I have developed a custom music tool with a lot of customizability with the help of GOVANIFY giving me the framework. So, when you launch musicgui.exe, it will open a tool for you, and you can hear in the background it playing music as I talk. And if you're using an early access version, or maybe a version years down the line where you actually have to select one of these, it will ask you what you're playing. And if you're playing Project Aqua, like some of those cool patrons I have, or you're playing 2FM/other, aka, Free Flow Virtuoso Improvements Implementation Mod, or FFVII, you push that button. And then that is all you have to do for this tool. You can adjust the volume like this as much as you want. To set this up, there are a few things you have to do, and I have a README in here, but clearly you're watching this because you don't want to read, so that's fine. I've got you. So, if you're not using a PCSX2 that is bundled with the mod, then you will need to go into this right here, this main PCSX2 window. You'll need to go to Tools, and you need a checkmark by Show Advanced Settings. After that, you go to System, Settings, and you go down to Advanced, scroll all the way down, and you make sure Pine Settings is enabled, and then you close that. Okay, so next up, go to Tools, Open Data Directory, and you're gonna go into the Cheats folder that is located there. And in the folder for the custom music tool, there will be 2 PNAC files, and these will disable the music that plays in the mod. The first one disables it for base 2FM, and the other one disables it for my mods and Crazy Cat's 00's patch. So you just drag those in, and that's that. Afterwards, you can just launch the game and then the tool like I did before at any time, and it'll work, plain and simple. That's pretty much the end of it. So if you're not planning on doing any sort of customization whatsoever, you can actually just stop the video here. But if you want to learn more about what else it can do, beyond just the music, this video is going to go over that. So first off, the big thing of this tool is I made it as customizable as humanly possible for putting music into this. So I'm going to go over that right now. So if we go into the OST folder here, you will see that these are OGG files, and the point of it being this is that OGG is the only open source audio format I could find that didn't look like a pain in the ass and had some good documentation and was open source. Did I mention that already? Whatever. Anyways, and it allowed me to do a lot of precision, which is needed for looping the songs properly. I'm not going to get into more technical details, don't worry. But the point of this is, because of loops being so precise, you can actually make songs loop and put in whatever files you want. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of this right now. So if you go into, let's say Boss Dilemma, alright? We'll go to Sound Test right now. We're going to scroll all the way down, and we'll select a 13th dilemma. So it just plays. And I'm going to turn that down a bit. Okay, so to test stuff, let's say you want something different for Boss Dilemma, I'm not going to throw in a different OGG file, I'm just going to rename something for the purpose of this. But let's say, instead of when the 13th Dilemma would play, you're more of a 13th Reflection enjoyer. So in that case, what you would do is, let's get off this song real quick. We're gonna just rename this file as something else, and then we are going to just change our copy to 13th Reflection to Boss Dilemma.ogg. So now, if we go back and we select the 13th Dilemma, now it's playing the file that you inserted in. And you can insert whatever OGG file you want, but there are things you have to do properly for it to read it properly. And I'm going to show you the typical process for doing that. If you don't know how to loop music with precision, there are video tutorials on YouTube for that. So let me go ahead and fix this for myself now. Okay. So, anyways, here let's put on something. Let's put on something a little more relaxing. You and me. You know what? Here we go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. The card shop. Okay, anyways, so we are now going to open Audacity. Good old Audacity. Oh, and so one other thing I want to mention is if your folder does not show you stuff like this, all you have to do is right-click name up here, and you want to show contributing artist, album, and genre if you want to see all the data. But the most important thing you need to see is genre. That's going to be the most relevant here. So I am going to just open up our good old Boss Dilemma here. This is our guinea pig for today. And if you go into File, Edit Metadata on Audacity, where is it? There it is. You can see all this stuff here. The only stuff that's needed is artist name, the track title, the album title, and then this stuff in genre, which is actually, it's basically data the music tool is reading. So the format of this is, I will space this out for your eyes for a moment, but don't space this out when you're exporting stuff. Okay. So this is telling it whether to fade in the track or not. If it's 1, it will fade it in. If it's 0, it will just instantly play it. This is your starting loop point, and this is your ending loop point. So when it hits this point, it's going to wrap back around to where this is in the song immediately. And this is how much volume to add or subtract if you put a minus before it. This is how much to add or subtract from the song. So and this is relative to the user's volume. So if I were to play the 13th Dilemma while the volume is 30, then the 13th Dilemma, since it has 10 here, it would play at a volume of 40. So the reason for this is just in case you want to audio balance something that you're inserting in, because you think it sounds quieter or louder than the other stuff in the, and I guess the playlist you'd call this? the mod playlist, whatever. So yeah, keep that in mind. This, though, is very important. And the format of this is in seconds and milliseconds, so this is like, so this is 3 minutes 19 seconds and then 0.7. To give you a better visual of this, I will open my video editor for you all, so you guys can see this in a minute-second format. As soon as it loads it, of course. Okay. So the way this is right here, this is 6.450, and this this right here is 319.7, as you can see. So if I were to play this back in like this video editor, for instance, I'll just copy this so you can hear it from here, and this might be loud. So you can see there's absolutely no clipping whatsoever. How you hear it in like this or Audacity or whatever your software of choice is for looping music is how it's going to sound in the tool, because I made it perfectly seamless, which was not easy to do, by the way. But anyways, yeah, so that is what this is. So if you don't know how to calculate, you know, converting a minute to 60 seconds, just you know, do a little math with your Windows calculator, and you'll be fine. You'll get it. So now we've done that, you have to bring it into Audacity, and you have to export it as an OGG. Theoretically, it should work with any sample rate, but the only ones I tested were 48,000 and 44,100, because that's just kind of how most MP3 files are set to. So when you're exporting something from Audacity, you save as type OGG Vorbis, put the quality up high, there's no reason to lower the quality, and then just save it as the same file name as what you want to replace in the tool. And this is where you input metadata for artist name, track title, album title, and genre. You need to format it as, you know, fade out or not, comma, starting loop point, comma, ending loop point, comma, and then volume add, or you could just leave it blank, or you can set it to 0. It will not go above 20 because I'm not going to be held liable for people damaging their ears. So you just push OK, and then it'll export that. And then we can just drag this into, we'll replace the encounter temporarily, just so you guys see the process, you know, whoop-de-doo. Hold on, I'll just rename this to Boss Disney temporarily. Yes, I know that's not how you spell Disney, it was funny, and I just kept it. Get over it. So we'll go back here to our good old-fashioned tool, turn the volume up, and we'll select the encounter now, which is what we replaced. And then this information thing here, when you manually select something in sound test, by the way, it will it's gonna get the track title that you set, the album, or the album artist, and the album. That's how it's getting this. And then when the tool gets something, it caches it, and then it'll remember your loop points. Now I'm not going to sit here and wait for the song to loop all the way. I will show you a few other things with the tool for customizability. I will go into this room for a moment here, and it will reset the song back to normal. And I'll let you hear me going into combat with this thing. Okay, I gotta get out of here before I get tempted to kill things, because I love this mod. Anyways, as you can see, it will switch between the in-combat and out-of-combat music, and it will do the same with events. However, if you want to have a little fun, you can set something in sound test, so we'll just set Darkness of the Unknown 2. And then we will select Stop Swap, and the tool will not swap the music. So you're free to kill things with whatever music you want. If you want to just go through a good chunk of the game just listening to whatever. Pretty cool, right? I thought it was pretty cool, that's why I added it. Alright guys, a few more things to go over if you're going on a journey of customizing the music. If you go to the README file and scroll down, I have taken the liberty of making a list of all of the stuff in the tool and the context for where it plays. Whether it's the field themes, battle themes, boss themes, and the extra themes that aren't normally in the game's context, but I added it. There's a key to this. So, let's say you have the boss Heartless. Normally this is the Corrupted, although it's not what plays in the tool. This is where it is normally in the game. It's not denoted by brackets, so this is what it is. If something's denoted in brackets, it means I've given it a different context, or I'm telling you what the context of it is, rather than like what the song originally is supposed to be. And if something has a asterisk by it, this means there's a file for it located in the KH2FM override folder. There's a few songs in here because this tool was originally built for Project Aqua, and then I added a lot of context for actual base 2FM and my FFVII mod here. So that's what that is. But yeah, it is documented right here for you. So yeah, that's that. I am going to go over other things about the tool now, not necessarily pertaining to the music. If you go to the customization part of the tool, you'll be able to set shortcut menus for your magic. And this supports common patches for my mods, or base KH2. If you're using base KH2 with like no patches, you basically uncheck this. But if you're using like one of my mods or like Crazy Cats' English patch, then you enable it. Also, a lot of this is in the tool. If you just hover over anything, it'll give you a tooltip. Let's say I want Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, Cure on this. For D-pad up, then I would export this. So then I'll make I'll make something for D-pad down, I guess. You can do this for each of them. So we'll just change this to potion, high potion, I guess, and then we'll export that here. So if we go to the custom music tool folder, which is called debug for me, but it'll be custom music tool folder for you, you'll see these shortcuts have been exported here. So what we can do is we go into our PCSX2 folder, which I do not have pulled up because I'm bad at planning things, I guess. And we go into our cheats folder here. We can drag these in, and then you'll go to your main PCSX2 window, go to Tools, Reload Cheats / Patches, and it will now index those things. So if I hold L1, then I push D-pad up or right, you'll see me swapping between these in real time. So if you get good at this, you can mix and match your magic very easily. Or at least easier than before. So play around with that customization if you don't want to menu as much magic or items. The world is yours. Next thing I'm going to go over is the help archives, which is pretty self-explanatory. If you click this, it'll open this little menu, and it'll give you some information on stuff. Notably, it will directly link you for the moveset guides. If you click one of these, it will open your browser and immediately bring you to my videos. And then you can just click back up here if you want to look at other stuff like sound tests and stuff. And this will give you a link to the official OST playlist by myself, Nanashima, and some generous people who who say like, yeah, you can just use my music and whatever as long as you credit me. So, you know, thanks Pontus Holgren for that, because his music remixes are very good. This tool also has a built-in autosave feature, because, you know, 2FM can crash sometimes when you're modding it. So there are areas where if you go into them, the tool will autosave, and PCSX2 will notify you in the top left if it autosaves something. So it said state saved to slot 14, and normally you can't actually access that if you go to the system load state here. You can see it only goes up to 10 slots, but that's just a UI thing. So I decided to take advantage of that when programming this tool. So if we do load autosave 13, for instance, we're here because it autosaved here. But yeah, this tool will automatically save state stuff for you. And try and remember that, just in case, you know, for whatever reason the mod crashes, you know. Sorry guys, I can only do so much. And some features I felt were cool enough to leave in, even if they could cause crashes in some areas, like swapping costumes. So, you know, we have remedied that with a good old-fashioned two autosave things. So please take advantage of this. And then one other thing I will go over. This is actually something I added last minute for a friend, so it might not be the best. It's more of a, hey, I can do this because it's a fun thing, so I'm going to do it. So, if you push this overhead button, it will actually switch to a more top-down, like, sort of arena fighter perspective, which my friend preferred, so I figured, what the hell, why not? I can add it as well. And then the last thing I will go over is something that I need to leave this world to do. This feature will not activate on the world map, Twilight Town, Hollow Bastion, or in some fringe cases, I think it will also not activate. But if you go like here is a good place, for instance, and you do training mode, this is actually a sandbox mode sort of thing. If we select mob mode or boss mode, I'll go over both of them, but mob mode, you can choose between a list of enemies that are in FFVII/base Kingdom Hearts 2, and there's even Project Aqua enemies here that will activate if you are running that mod, but otherwise it will tell you that it refuses to do that. But yeah, you can use this to build like a team of enemies, for instance, and this is kinda janky to load into, but it does work. You can adjust the battle level here. I'll just put it to battle level 99, and you've even got cheats for yourself and the enemies, so you can give Sora like infinite HP, and yeah, some of these will work for 2FM and FFVAI, but stuff like, you know, Dark Mode and Turbo Mode won't work without Aqua. But yeah, you got some cheats, and then you can also give similar cheats to the enemies, so we'll just give them like infinite HP, max HP, I guess. And then we'll load into here, and it will put us in a strange position because I wanted this to be compatible with both versions. But yeah, you can just glide here, and then your nobody wave 3 is actually these guys. And you can basically you can do a little combo video if you want on these guys. You want to set them to infinite HP, set yourself to infinite HP, I don't know. The world's yours, man. I give you the power of customization precisely so you can do whatever fun stuff you want to do. And then when you're done with that, if you select abort training, it will put you right back to where you were before. And then you can start up again. And we can select boss mode, for instance. You can also select what song will play during this, by the way. So we can set up our good old-fashioned darkness of the unknown, and then we'll just put in like, I don't know, let's just put in like 2 data zenithuses. If you put in too much, that'll overload RAM, it will T-pose someone or something, or just not load, so be mindful of that. There are limits to this, but play around with it as you see fit. You can also choose to infinitely go into a form if you're in base 2FM, or you could choose to play as Mickey. Again, Ventus Terra won't work without Aqua, so, you know, again, it'll let you know. But it doesn't really matter if you're playing FFVI on challenge mode anyways, but yeah, anyways. So we'll walk in here.
What'd you expect?
And now we can fight these guys. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, I still have my infinite health cheat on. Of course. How could I be so foolish to think I was ever in any danger whatsoever? So yeah, feel free to mess around with this stuff if you're just bored and don't want to play the actual game for a while. It's pretty fun. I gotta stop before I get distracted. Okay, a few extra details about training mode. So, if you are playing one of my mods, or you have the mod pack installed, which will be in the description, you can select some different maps that are available for training mode. So, for instance, I'll select, I guess, the Well of Captivity. And then we'll just put in, I don't know, Pete. Why not? And then you can also now change your party members. So you can change Donald and Goofy to, we'll say, Aladdin and, I don't know, Orin. And then you can just fight stuff with your party members. And I'll just set the music to, I don't know, this I guess. And also there's a enemy cheat for your party members that you can turn on or off. If you turn on party flinch mode, then party members will be able to actually make the bosses flinch as well. So I'll just show this, since it's kind of cool as well.
What'd you expect?
And he was prepared. Little does he know, we're more prepared. Oh my. Yep, so more training mode stuff to play around with. I can't even get the camera on this guy right now. And that is the music tool. This has been in the works for a while. So this is the only software I think I'll probably ever develop in my life, because man, I have so much more fun developing other stuff like actual gameplay mechanics. So yeah, that's that. But one of the big things separating the PC port from emulator was the fact that we were stuck here with MIDI music. And I didn't want it to be like that. I wanted you to be able to listen to relaxing things like, you know, this. Pontus Holmgren's remix of Tyus' theme. Just playing with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Where you can go hit a Larkstein training dummy to relaxing music or change it to whatever you want. I just like, I like customization. Anyways, so, yes. Thank you for watching the long-winded, rambly guide of the custom music tool. I hope you enjoy it, have fun with it, make some playlists if you want. The world is yours, my friend.